Hi, I'm Dave Casey, founder of the Innovation Leaders Club. We're going to look in this video how to collaborate with startups. So I assume you're an established organization and you're looking for startups to collaborate with, or there's a startup that is approaching you, and so there are different things you should be looking at. But what is interesting, ultimately, the best collaboration that I've seen from our club members are really win-win situation. And there are some wins for the startups, but there's really some win for the established organization. And people often think that they don't necessarily have to learn from the startups, but there's obviously multiple things to learn. So let's have a look.
This video from the Innovation Leaders Club will explain the benefits of innovating with a startup. Opening your innovation ecosystem to integrate startups could be an exciting approach to benefit from startups' agility and focus. It's a good way to bolster your innovation capacity and diversify your skills. But what model of collaboration should you adopt? It all depends on the objective and benefit you're pursuing. We have developed a 60-page visual guidebook on how to develop an innovation strategy. It is a fully illustrated step-by-step guide to building the foundation of an innovation system. Click the link in the description below to download it for free. Let's go over why collaborating with startups is a win at every level. It's easy to see how collaborations between medium and large companies and startups make sense. There are many benefits for corporates. First, startups are ahead of the curve when it comes to emerging technologies and new markets. Getting closer to the startup ecosystem is an opportunity for companies to increase their proficiency of the latest technologies and access novel ideas. Secondly, startups think, work, and move differently. Managers and teams from large companies that work with agile startups are exposed to new mindsets and infuse new ways of thinking and working in the organization. Thirdly, startups attract talented, passionate, and tech-savvy individuals that can fuel your company with customer-centric and value-driven ideas. It is clear why startups benefit from relationships with larger companies. First, working with major players in the industry often boosts their reputation and increases their credibility with investors. Secondly, it's an opportunity to gain experience and learn industry expertise and standards of excellence. Thirdly, great relationships with medium and large companies can provide them with access to resources and new markets.
Talking with the club members, often I realize that they think that the startups are looking for cash. Well, I'm not saying that they're not looking to be financed, but they're really looking for something more from established organization. The two most difficult things to develop, and that takes time, a lot of money, is first the brand, then the distribution network. So this is the two most valuable things that you could offer to a startup, to really bring them under your umbrella and offer them access to your distribution networks. And let's say if you do provide or you support them, then they will have easy access to financing, because people that finance, they will realize a startup has a lot of potential for success being under your umbrella. So let's have a look.
It is important to note that according to a McKinsey article published in 2021, financing is not the top reason for startups to pursue partnerships, and it is not even among the top 3. Their top motive is getting access to the larger partners market. Over the last decade, we have seen corporates developing, launching, and refining various innovation models, with a significant rise over the last few years. From innovation labs, internal accelerators or incubators, cooperative venture capital or CVC, and to partnership units, corporate wants to get closer and closer to the startup ecosystem and the most promising new companies.
There are different ways collaborating with the startups. It could be a light collaboration, ultimately it could ended up having making an acquisition of the startup. So let's look at the different type of collaboration that will really open your eyes of a lot of things that you could do. And being agile into the discussion, it is to be able to know those different scope of collaboration, from a light collaboration to really deep dive involving and ultimately acquisition, or at least or getting into the stock, being a stockholder of the organization and investing. So from the light to the more high level commitment, there's a broad range of things that you could do. So let's look at the different lists that we came up with.
Each innovation model is geared toward different objectives. First, it's important to assess and agree on what you want to achieve from disruptive innovation or an incremental one to process a product, service, or business model innovation. M&A is often a way to gain access to resources, capabilities, revenue, or clients. Partnerships, on the other hand, increase the competitiveness of an offering. R&Ds develop core or adjacent businesses. Innovation labs can take different forms, but is most of the time a way to prototype new products or services and test new ways of working. Incubators scout and nurture startups that can fill a specific need, while an accelerator promotes business development and captures new ways of thinking. Corporate venture capital, CVC, is a way to learn about or gain access to disruptive and new opportunities. Like for most companies during COVID, online commerce exploded for Decathlon, one of the world's largest sporting goods retailers. The desire to exceed customers' expectations led Decathlon Canada to meet with Lock It Go, a young startup from Montreal that offers secure, contactless, and automated holding spaces for parcels and goods. It was a match made in heaven at the right time, at the right place. With the subsidy from the City of Montreal, through its Open Innovation Program for Emerging Businesses, Decathlon and Lock It Go quickly launched a pilot project in one of their stores, allowing customers to access new delivery or return options for online orders 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I hope you found this video interesting and it opens your mind and your eyes on working with startups. The real challenge with working with startups is not necessarily working with them, but to find them. They are not necessarily next door to you, and some organization and some club members, they had to look all over the world to find them. So if there's a startup that knocked to your door, because they have done the work for you, so they found you and they see there's a fit, then there's a lot of things that is already accomplished. If you do talk with them, you realize what they have is interesting. And obviously, this is only the first step and maybe a nice beginning for potential future working with them.
If you haven't already done so, you can get your hands on our popular 60-page visual guidebook for free. Click the link in the description below. Don't hesitate to watch the next video to learn even more about innovation management practices.